Hello, I'm astrologer Mitchell Scott Lewis. Today I'd like to talk to you about the astrological history of the Dow Jones. In 1913, the Dow Jones closed at 79.51. In 2007, it traded above 14,000. 70% of the time, the stock markets go up. Unfortunately, 30% of the time, they go down. If we could possibly figure out in advance when they were going to go down, everybody could make a lot of money and we could avoid some of the repercussions of this. Well, we can. Saturn is the planet of structure, stability, and foundation. It rules the housing industry, homes, and the banking industry. Since 1913, there have been 20 some odd bear markets in the Dow. Every single one of them was the result of either a Saturn affliction to an outer planet or an affliction to Jupiter. In 1915, Saturn conjuncted Pluto. The Dow Jones went down. In 1917 and 1918, Saturn opposed Uranus, an aspect that we are involved with right now. That was the First World War, the influenza epidemic, and a bear market for 2 years. In 1920, Saturn again opposed Uranus. The stocks went down. In 21, Saturn conjuncted Jupiter. In 1930, Saturn squared Uranus. In 1931, Saturn opposed Pluto. In 1932, Saturn inconjuncted Neptune. In 1938, Saturn opposed Neptune, leading to what's called the Roosevelt recession. Between 32 and 38, in the depths of the Depression, the stocks went up every year. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. But an affliction to Saturn, and they came off in 1938. 1940, Saturn squared Pluto. It was the beginning of the Second World War. The stock market went down. In 1941 and 42, one of the bloodiest years of the war, Saturn conjuncted Uranus. Stock market went down for 2 years. But 43, 44, 45, during the war, it went up. 46, it went up. 1947, Saturn conjuncts Pluto and squares Jupiter. The stock market goes down. 1960, Jupiter enters Saturn-ruled Capricorn. It's a bear market for a year. 1962, Saturn squares Neptune. The stock market goes down. 1966 and 67, Saturn again opposes Uranus and Pluto. The stock market is a bear for 2 years. In 1969 and 70, Saturn inconjuncts Uranus and opposes Jupiter. The stock market goes down. 1974, Saturn squares Pluto. In the height of the Vietnam War, we have a terrible recession. In 1977, Saturn squares Uranus. The stock market goes down. In 1982, Saturn conjuncts Pluto, and this aspect ends in November. In 1966 and 67, the last time we saw Saturn opposite Uranus until the present day, this was the beginning of a 16-year bear market. It wasn't until 1982, with the Saturn conjunct Pluto, that a new bull market began. During those years, if you look at the history of the Dow, you'll see it spiking up twice, I believe, to make marginal new highs and then collapsing. This is why I warn people about bear market rallies like the one we're in the middle of now. This is a vicious bear market rally. It ran up 40% from the bottom. And now when everybody thinks it's safe to go back into the water, the sharks are going to come out and eat their toes off. Okay, in 1988, Saturn conjuncts Uranus. We have a bear market. 2001, 2002, Saturn opposes Pluto on America's ascendant-descendant. They blow up the World Trade Center, a 2-year bear market. In 2008, Saturn opposed Uranus for the first of 5 times, leading to my prediction in my newsletters of a stock market crash. The crash happened only a week or 2 before the aspect completed, right before the election, and we've then seen a second crash in January, February, early March on the second aspect, opposition of Saturn and Uranus. We will see several more. In 2010, Saturn will oppose Uranus for the last time at 0 degrees Aries and Libra. This is called the world point or the cardinal point. It's the beginning of the zodiac. It is a very powerful place in astrology. This opposition will also be squared by Pluto. We're going to have a T-square with Saturn opposite Uranus squared by Pluto. between 0 and 3 degrees of cardinal, America has its Venus at 3 degrees of Cancer. It's going to be hit by this T-square, which, by the way, also completes with Mars conjuncting that Saturn and Jupiter conjuncting the Uranus. So you have a 5-planet T-square in the sky hitting America's Venus and then America's Jupiter. This is going to lead to some messy events in the world. We're going to watch them. I hope other astrologers will do their homework, and we're going to find out in advance what it is. We're going to prevent as much as we can and get out of town if it's anywhere near us. Anyway, I hope that you all are safe. You keep your money safe. This is a bear market rally. Don't go spending your money in the stocks yet. But if you can trade, get in on the bottom, take a little profit and get out. Nobody ever went broke taking a profit. Please go to my website, www.mitchastro.com, and take a look at the notes from this lecture that I just did last week. And I hope to see you soon.